So how have you used your celebrity to help with causes over the years?
Well, just a couple of weeks ago, I had a concert called Della Reese Presents. And what I presented was a young lady that we found singing on the street. She's 11 years old. Her name is Camilla Thomas. And I presented her. And I presented a marvelous young lady named Kim Yarborough, who is a member of my choir, but is sort of a mixture of Shaka Khan and Streisand. She has the range of Streisand and the gutturalness of Shaka Khan. I presented my choir, and we had a marvelous evening, and the money went to benefit my church. I worked for Faith in Action, which is a group that takes care of people so that they're able to stay in their homes and have someone come and see about helping them. I donate to wherever I can donate. I like to take care of the animals, and so I send money to that, and cancer, breast cancer, and whenever they call me, whoever calls me, I go and do what I can do.
In 2002, when you were on Larry King Live, you talked about having type 2 diabetes. And what made you decide to come forward on that show at that time?
Well, I don't like for people to be frightened, you see. And you have in you everything you need to defend yourself from whatever attacks you. Now, whether you know it or not, or use it or not, does not change that you have it inside of you. I know for sure, you don't have to die because somebody else tells you you have to die. You don't have to die because your brain explodes. You don't have to die because you walk through a plate glass window and lose 7 pints of blood and don't have but 9. It has to do with the inner you, and you can fight off whatever is attacking your body, and type 2 diabetes is attacking my body. So I got some information. Information is power. And I've learned for 5 years now, I have contained it. I have lived wonderfully well. I have enjoyed my life, and I know how to work with it, how to use the equipment necessary, how to eat and not feel like I'm starving, the foods to choose. I've learned those things. And it has kept me going at the same wonderful pace I've always been going. And I wanted to tell people what I just told you.
In 1987, you became an ordained minister. What made you choose that path?
My brain exploded. And I wanted people to know, you don't have to die because your brain explodes. You have in you everything you need to heal yourself from whatever it is that's bothering you. And when I got up, I had so many experiences there. I've always been a Christian. My mother's house required you to be a Christian. But so many things happened there. Like, let me tell you. Okay, I'm in this 3rd hospital, and I have this doctor who is the most negative person to have ever studied medicine in existence, okay? So he comes in my room every day and tells me why I have to die, and he has statistics, 4 out of 7 and 6 out of 9 and all of that. And he tells me one day that I'm going to have an arteriogram. I never heard this word before, ever. And then he tells me that what it is they're going to run a tube from my groin to my brain so that they can inject a dye so they can see exactly where this rupture is so that when they open my scalp, they can go directly to the problem. And then he tells me the only problem is we have to find somebody who knows how to do this. Well, I said, you mean to tell me you want to run something all the way through my body and you don't know the route? I told Franklin, I said, get this out of my room right away. Don't let him come back in. My son is saying, Mama, this is the best in the West. I said, I don't care. I don't want him. Don't let him touch me. Don't let him touch me ever. Get him out of my room. So I don't eat meat, and so my husband went across the street to get me some vegetables from an Oriental restaurant. And so in this room, alone, I say this prayer. I say, Father, I don't understand the language, so I don't know how to make a decision. You'll have to help me make a decision. And the door opens to my room, and this man comes in operation garb, the green suit and the mask laying down and a little cap and the shoes on. And he says to me, may I come in? And I said, yeah, I thought he was a fan. I said, yes, come on in. He said, I was passing this room, and something told me that I should come in because sometimes the patients don't understand the language. And I want you to know that I know the root. And if you don't get me, you'll get the man that taught me everything I know. But he didn't teach me everything he knows. So either way, you're in good hands. And I just wanted to stop by and tell you that. I went. I don't know what happened. I never felt it. He said to me, he says, all we need for you to do is be still. Can you be still? My favorite Bible verse is, be still and know that I am God. I said, you watch me be still. They took me down there. Whatever they did, I don't know. I felt nothing, no pain, no nothing, whatever. So when I got up, I wanted to run and tell everybody everything. Listen, this is what happened to me. This can happen to you too, you see. So I went to school. And I studied for 4 years with Reverend Dr. Johnny Coleman. And then I was going to teach. But then I had these two people in my class. One man had terminal cancer. And he and his wife had been married for like 35 years, and they had always been sweethearts and lovers. But now he was angry with her. And she came to the classes, and so she brought him to the classes. And he came in with, I don't want to hear all of this. This ain't going to help me at all. They done said I'm going to die, and I know I'm going to die. But class after class, the truth, which you can't avoid, got to him. And he began to relax, and they became lovers again. And he began to treat her royally again. And eventually, about 6 months after he came, he died of cancer. And she asked me, would I do the services for him? And so he was a wonderful man. The people were crying and everything. And so I did the service, and the people calmed down. And I have this poem that says, we're standing on this shore, looking at the ship leaving, and we're saying goodbye. But on the other shore, there are people saying, oh, look, here the ship comes. It's wonderful. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And the people just calmed down. And the minister got up and said, well, all those pretty words she giving you, but all y'all going to die sometime. Have you made your peace with God? Because well, you're going to be laying right here one day. You're going to be laying right here one day. And this is no time for no pretty words. This is time. And the people now are crying again, you understand? The lady gets so angry that she asked the minister not to come to the cemetery. And she asked me, would I go to the cemetery and say the final, well, I never buried nobody before. I don't know how to bury nobody. But he's laying there, and she's ready to go out there, and I don't know how to do this. So I go and I read the Bible, and I say the words and all of that. But when I come home, I call Reverend Coleman. I said, you got to tell me what to do because I got to go back to the cemetery. She said, for what? I said, I've buried somebody, and I don't know nothing about burying nobody. I don't know if I've said the right things or I've done the right things or whatever be the case. And so she told me, I went back and I straightened it up and straightened it out and all of that. But it made me know that I needed to go deeper than to teach. I needed to have a place where I could teach and preach and teach the Bible mostly and the benefits of the Bible. So I went back to school and got my license as a minister.
Through the interview, you've mentioned your husband, Franklin, that several times.
Yeah.
And you said you're going to be celebrating your 29th honeymoon.
Well, my 29th, his is only 25.
And when did you marry?
We were legally married 25 years ago, but I was married to him 4 years before we were legally married. You see, when I had prayed for him, I didn't pray for him because I didn't know about him, but I had prayed for somebody that had as much love in them as I have in me, and that we could share that love and we could become one. And he came. So I knew it was him. But he had some other issues. And he didn't know it was me. God told me, but he didn't tell him. So I had to hold on to the love for 4 years until he got himself together and came on in out the rain.
And he's also your manager, correct?
Yes.
And so how, over the years, have you balanced the professional relationship with the personal relationship?
They don't have to balance. I'm his wife over here. That's one relationship. And I'm his client over here. That's another relationship. One has nothing to do with the other. I have him as my manager because he's a good businessman, not because he's my husband. And I have him as my husband because he's wonderful, not because he's a good businessman.
So over the years, how have you handled working and raising a family? You talked about that.
Oh, it's been good. It's been good. I planned. My daughter I kept with me until she had to go to school. I had a tutor with her all that time. That was before they were allowing private teaching at home. You had to go, the law said you had to go to school. So I kept her with me all of that time. And then from that time on, I made arrangements so I was gone just long enough to make the money to pay the bills. If I was gone any longer than that, I would send for her and the nanny and the teacher, and they would come and be with me. So it worked out. It worked out fine.
How do you feel that your personality comes across to audiences?
It must be good. Listen, I started at 6 and I'm 76 and they still come to see me. I'm going to accept that as they like me. I won't take that to be they like me a lot, in fact.
What do you think that the television industry today is still lacking as far as minorities and women?
Just that, minorities and women. They still have, not as much as they used to have, when we give them credit. They have this picture that all black people are alike, and all Irish people are alike, and all Indians are alike. And that's not true. We all have some of everybody in us, you see, and they don't recognize that. So they keep on putting on shows from an ethnic point of view rather than from a human point of view. But they're a lot better, let me say it out loud, they're a lot better than they used to be.
What do you think has been your proudest achievement in your career?
In my career, I don't know. All of it was good to me. I don't know if there's one thing. I was not an overnight sensation. I didn't have a million seller immediately. I didn't, mine was a everyday working. I'm a working actress, a working singer. So I don't know about any particular thing that, no, I don't know of any.
Any regrets?
Oh, of course. But I appreciate the regrets because I learned. You see, from each thing that you learn, failure can be a wonderful thing because you learn never to do it that way again. You see, so by failing, if you're paying attention and you'll be honest with yourself, failing can elevate you to a better understanding. So yes, there are a lot of things I could have done a different way. But in the end, I liked me. And all of those things that I went through, whether I handled them well or not, made me the human being I am right now. And I like me right now, so it's all right.
Would you say that you had any one particular mentor through your life?
Oh, absolutely. Her name was Ernestine Runless. I was 15 years old, 17 years old, and my mother died. And I was raised in the slums. That was before the ghetto. And I could have been, my choices were to be a prostitute, a thief, or a murderer. That's what was available to me. And she reached out and said, no, they're not going to get you, and picked me up and took me in and saved my life.
Do you feel that you've mentored anyone?
I hope so. Goodness, I hope so. I have so much to give back. I hope I have.
And how would you like to be remembered?
Remembered. That's sufficient. To be remembered is sufficient.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we're done.
Okay.